That is my fucking basketball team. All right, here we go. Man, unreal toughness, grit, perseverance, all the words we've been using all season still apply tonight, but there's one word that I think applies above all else, and that's resilience. And it's resilience in every facet that a person can be resilient, that a team collectively made up of individuals that have come together and become something greater than the sum of their parts, because you do not take hit after hit after hit. And today was the hardest hit of them all with the news that they got. You don't take those hits and come out the other side unscathed unless you join together, unless you believe in each other, and unless you trust one another up and down the roster and throughout the organization. That doesn't happen without trust. And because they have that trust in each other, and because this is a team that I like, you could count the amount of times on one hand over the last 2 months since these guys have gone out that this team failed to at least attempt to make the correct basketball play, make the next pass, find the next open man. And that is because all they care about is winning. But you can care about winning, and then it gets to a certain point, and you've just taken too much for most normal mortal human beings to withstand. And you just kind of shrug your shoulders and you're like, I mean, what else can befall us? And I think when we saw the Knicks come out today, and look, they didn't play badly, to be very clear. The Kings shot, I believe, 7 of 9 or 7 of 10. It was 7 of 10 from 3 in the first quarter, and New York was 1 of 6. That's why they were down 15 at the end of the first quarter, and then they ended up going by 21 after that, Sacramento, early in the second quarter. Like, but did the Knicks have maybe a little teensy bit of like not that extra something that they could bring sometimes? Yeah, absolutely. Except unlike the San Antonio game, which we saw, and again, like who could blame them with how they've taken these hit after hit after hit? Who could blame them for being emotionally and mentally and physically 40 minutes night after night after night affected by all that has transpired and everything that has befallen them? And so they go down by 15 in the first quarter and 21 early in the second, having lost 3 straight games, and having received this news today that the guy who, and if there's one positive to come out of the news today over the last, what is it, about 12 hours now, it's, I think, the outpouring of love and support for Julius Randle and everything he means to this franchise, and how disappointed people are that he is gone for the season, rightly so. And we'll talk about that more as the night goes on. But so to deal with all that and to be down by that many, and to not, if the fact that they didn't close up shop, I mean, but nobody watching this game or nobody watching who has watched this team this year or last year, nobody expected them to run away with their tail between their legs and just say, you know what, not our night, not our year. That's not how this team operates. That would be enough, right? That's what they did against San Antonio. That's what they did against Oklahoma City. And that's what they did against Miami. And each time they fought back, close but no cigar, against the Spurs, Thunder, and Heat. Tonight, they somehow found within themselves the ability to dig even deeper than they have dug the last 3 games and turn the tables on this Kings team to the point that the team that had the 21-point lead, by the time they got to about, I don't know, 7-8 minutes left in this game, threw their hands up and they were like, can you looking at Mike Brown, can you throw in the towel? Is there an extra like sweat towel on the bench somewhere that you could throw in? Maybe the refs will stop the game. That's how little the team that had by the way, a team that's might end up in the Western Conference playoffs. At the very least, they're going to end up in the play-in. That is a team that has 44 wins. That's a good basketball team, 44-31. And you saw how good of a basketball team they were, again, in the first quarter. And they are dangerous in transition. As Benji tweeted during the game, if you miss an offensive rebound or you fall down on offense or you get completely battered and the refs don't make a call, any of those things happen, the Kings are off to the races and they're probably going to score. So this is a tough basketball team to beat because they are relentless and they keep coming at you. They wanted none of it tonight. None of it. By the fourth quarter, when the Knicks just started to have their way. And they had their way on offense, but they broke the Kings' will on defense. And I feel like I've said this a lot over these last 2 months, and what a testament it is to this team that I keep saying this again and again and again, without the guy that they traded for, who's the most versatile defender in basketball. You know, not to say nothing of with only one half of their two-headed center monster who now is finally back. But that's the character of the team. And like a guy, and I mean, by God, are we going to shed some praise tonight on some individual players? And I'm going to start maybe some place that I don't think many people would expect. You can't have a defense that does that to teams without everybody taking part. And one of those guys, and we talked about his defensive improvement earlier in the year, and then he had a little bit of a defensive backslide, unheralded amidst his MVP campaign. And it is an MVP campaign. He's not going to win it, but man, he is gunning for a spot, one of those 5 spots on the ballot, big time, is Jalen Brunson. And just battles. And if he's your worst defender and he's battling like that and he's fighting like that, that helps sets the tone. That helps set the tone for the rest of the defense and everything else you're doing. But of course, Jalen Brunson isn't out there for his defense, and this will go down as the Josh Hart game, as it should. I mean, I'll just go ahead and read the old stat line here. In 43 minutes, 31 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Those are Luka numbers, folks. Those are Luka numbers. And Josh Hart did it tonight all by his lonesome, and he did it with a sprained wrist. And I don't know, so I said it after the last game, and I'll say it again now for anybody who didn't hear me the first time. And I wish I could give credit to the person who pointed it out, but someone who was at the game in Miami said in the Knicks Film School Substack chat that he saw Josh Hart take 2 shots in warmups before the Heat game, and he was holding his wrist, and he immediately went to the sideline. And the fact that he proceeded to take 3 shots in the game. And we were hard on him afterwards because we didn't have the full story. Well, sure enough, he shows up today with a questionable designation, game time decision tag with what? A sprained wrist. For the guy to go out there and do what he did with that sprained wrist was unreal. And he deserves all the flowers he gets. I'm so happy he's going to get those flowers because he's been getting, little killed in some corners. You know who you are. Looking at you, Alex. Never going to let you live that down. Anyway, and it should be the Josh Hart game. But the reason that Josh Hart got to have the Josh Hart game is because the Kings were guarding Jalen Brunson like prime Stephen Curry. And they were doing it not because they wanted to, but because they had to. They had no choice. They didn't have any other way to stop the guy. That's what he does to teams. And this Kings team, I know they're not a great defensive team, but they have some capable individual defenders that they could throw at you. Davion Mitchell, the guy was drafted out of Baylor primarily because of his defense. That guy didn't have a fucking chance tonight. Keon Ellis, you feeling good about yourself, knocking down those first 3 threes? Come on up, see what you can do. Sorry. De'Aaron Fox didn't even give it a try. Talk about not wanting any part of it. He was feeling awfully good about himself when those threes were going down. Not so much as the game went on. And so they had no choice. But here, cross half court, here's two. And shout out to again Benji for he's been tweeting about it all season. Him and Fred talked about it on the latest episode of Cats and Shoot. I think Fred has an article coming out about it for The Athletic. I think tomorrow. Jalen Brunson's the one area of his game that he needed to improve coming into the season, perhaps even more than the three-point shooting. And the three-point shooting matters a lot, obviously, because the whole reason you have to guard him out there is because he has become such a threat from three. And my goodness, I know he didn't hit a lot of threes tonight. What did he hit? 2 or 3? 2 threes, both massive. The one to end the first half, I thought was gigantic to get that something mentally about getting that edge under 10 points to go into halftime. And then the absolutely massive one to push the lead to 10 points with the Knicks on a 13-0 run. It gave them a 13-0 run in the fourth quarter. That was, I thought, the kill shot. I know there was a lot of time left after that. I thought that was the kill shot. So anyway, yes, he improved that, but he needed to improve his passing because teams, when they threw size at him, when they threw doubles at him, threw length at him, they could fluster him. And not only did he get better at it going into the season, he's gotten better at it over the course of the season. And you saw that tonight because that's all they could do, and it just didn't work. Nothing worked. But the reason the Warriors I can't even talk, Jalen Brunson so good. The reason the Warriors were as good as they were when Steph Curry was in his prime was because they had a couple other guys who were pretty good too. In Klay Thompson, of course, with Dante DiVincenzo, 5 more threes. My God, that Fournier record he's going to leave that Fournier record in the dust by the time the season's over. Again, he's and like Dante DiVincenzo, I don't even know if he's going to get one of my 3 stars of the game tonight because Isaiah Hartenstein, who we haven't even gotten to yet, he was so good. But you need a dead-eye shooter. DiVincenzo played that role. But most importantly, you need a Draymond Green. And what Josh Hart was doing out there tonight was playing the role of Draymond Green. And he was playing it as well as Draymond ever played it because it wasn't just that he was making shots. And yes, he made 14 of 19 shots, and that was obviously, that goes without saying, it was fantastic. But it's the combination of that, making the right decision, and making the right decision quickly, instantaneously. The way that you beat those traps is you cannot give the defense time to recover. Obviously, that's what I'm saying is obvious, because once you give them time to recover, then the trap has worked. Then it's no longer 4-on-3. Then it's back to 4-on-4 or 5-on-5. The fact that Josh Hart was making those decisions so quick, whether to shoot, whether to pass, and I don't know that he made a wrong decision tonight. The fact that he had the ball in his hands on the drive so much, he ended up with 4 turnovers. I got to tell you, only 4 turnovers with the amount of times he had to make those decisions. And again, that's like, what do we always say about the Warriors? They turn the ball over a ton. Because when you play that way, it leads to a lot of that stuff. The difference with tonight, I didn't think the Knicks were careless at all. Josh Hart had 4 turnovers. As a team, they had a total of 11, which really, when you're doing that much passing and when you generate 34 assists and you only have 11 turnovers, that's not good passing. That's not great passing. That's elite passing. That's elite connectivity. And that is purposeful and #meaningful movement with the ball, without the ball, everything. You have to do it all. And the Knicks have had to do it all, and the Knicks have had so much to overcome because they are down bodies. And this is the way they have to play to win games. But there's a reason that even with today's news, even with the uncertainty about OG Anunoby still going into what is effectively the last weekend, penultimate weekend of the season, there's a reason no one's going to count out this team. You know, there's a reason. I was on with Windhorse yesterday and Ian, and I'm like, man, I don't know if they don't get Anunoby back. I don't know if I could pick this team against anyone else in the East other than maybe the Magic and Brian showing me up. Is like, no, I think they can beat the Cavs, even with what they have now. And you know what? He's not wrong, because you know what this team has that the Cavs don't, and so many other teams in the league don't, including a lot of winning teams, is they have that extra something. They have that extra something that, whether you call it self-belief, use any of the buzzwords we've been using all season long, whatever it is that makes a team that opponents just, they don't want to play, because they know, like, you got, that's Mike Myers out there. You got to kill him and kill him again and kill him again and kill him again, and then burn the body and kill him again. Like, this team doesn't go away. This team doesn't give up. This team doesn't give in. This team, they don't know the meaning of what they're supposed to do. They don't care. They live by their own standards. And just what a performance. Couple other shout outs. I mentioned DiVincenzo before. How about a plus 27? Again, a plus 27 in a game that at one point they were down by 21, and DiVincenzo was in, by the way, for a lot of them losing that early lead. So it speaks to how impactful his shooting was. Obviously, Hart plus 22, Brunson plus 22. McBride only went 3 of 10 from deep, but we know how big those 3 threes were in the moment, because when he started getting rolling, that gave the Kings one less hiding place that they felt comfortable abandoning to go pay attention to the other guys that were on the court. So those threes, again, only 3 of 10, massive threes from McBride. And Bogdanović, I'll shout him out too. Only 12 minutes. He was a minus 13. I think that's a little unfair, because he went 5 of 7 from the field. You could tell he's starting to feel it. He had a couple buckets there in the fourth that I thought were really big. All they need is something. They just need something off the bench. He's starting to give them something. Something. Anything is better than what they've been getting. And then the last guy I'll say, I was just going to make an awful dad joke. I've had a hard-on with a T for this guy, really for the better part of a year, and that's Isaiah Hartenstein. And Isaiah Hartenstein, man, I'm glad he's starting to get some love. And you heard it from Stan Van Gundy tonight. And Stan, he's a bit of a caricature, but like, that dude knows ball. And I was like trying to do my final all defense teams today, and I'm looking at Hartenstein, and I'm like, man, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to try to sneak him onto one of my team. Not that I have a vote, obviously. If I want to sneak him on to maybe the second team, man, the numbers are there. If you look at the advanced stats, any advanced stats you want to look at, the defensive metrics paint him as one of the 10 most impactful defenders in basketball. And I thought there was a massive drop-off, and this is no shade on Precious or Mitch. Again, I thought there was a drop-off when he wasn't in there. I thought Sabonis more against Precious in the first half. I thought Mitch shored up his defense in the second half for sure. But Hartenstein's their best defender, and you feel it when he's not out there. And then when you throw in what he's able to do on the offensive end, I mean, the dude had 9 assists. Like, a dude with a usage rate that is still in the, I don't know what it is right now. I'm assuming it's somewhere in the mid-teens. Like, for that dude to generate 9 assists in the game, and again, it comes with how the Kings were guarding the Knicks, but it's a nice luxury to have in what is ostensibly still your backup center, although I know that the tables have turned here. Oh, man. What a win. What an absolute massive, massive, massive win. It felt, when, again, they were down by 21, and I was kind of looking at it like, man, okay, on to Chicago, and you just chalk this one up to emotional letdown, mental just didn't have it. To get a win like that, and once they started making that push, and once they got into single digits in the first half, I started to feel like, man, they got to get this now. They got to get this. And the Kings tried to have a little pushback there in the third, and the Knicks just keep coming. That's all they do. They just keep coming. All right, let's get into the rest of the show. 2 very relevant segments. But no, first we got Andrew Claudio here. Hello, Andrew.
Hi, John. How are you? We haven't been on a live stream in a long time.
I should probably add up how many times I've been in front of a a computer screen over the last 2 days. It's been.
Would it be 4 or is this 5? You mean like to do something live? You did the putback twice.
No, we did putback yesterday, Cats Pod yesterday, Town Hall last night.
How could I forget the 3-hour Town Hall?
Town Hall last night. What did I do today?
You did
live
the
stream
putback,
today,
a live stream, and now this.
Putback today. Oh, I was on Fox News too. I gotta send you the clip. Yeah, I was on the 5 o'clock fucking news.
So you mean like locally Fox 5? You mean?
Yeah, Fox 5 in New York.
Okay,
it was wild.
That's different than I was on Fox News, John.
What? Oh no, not
yeah. I was like,
no,
Fox. You want to tell
5.
me?
Yeah, no. Jennifer Williams, a wonderful journalist for them, reached out, and I had already gone back to my. You're terrible.
You're amazing.
I had already gone back to the old day job, so I did it. I couldn't even do it from here. I had to do it from my co-teacher's desk. So and now this. So this is what 7 times in the last 36 hours. So there you go.
Something like that. Well, glad to have you here, John. And my computer is for some reason acting up. Yeah, I can't exit out of a screen. I can't click anything.
Oh, does that mean we? Oh, okay.
So we're gonna wait. Is what we're gonna do. So, John, how are you? That's all. I'm okay. No, went back. We're back. Okay,
we're so back.
My camera's now off, as you can see. So here's what we're gonna do, folks. A lot of people. Let's see if it'll bring me back for a second. All right, it's still frozen. This is we're doing it live. John was on Fox News today, and I'm going full Bill O'Reilly. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm back. Knicks get a huge win. And earlier today, the tenor of us being live was very somber. It was a bit dejected, at least as far as I'm concerned. I know, John, you also felt very sad about Julius Randle. I know everybody wished him well. And we're now here to turn the vibes around. Because not only did the New York Knicks get a huge win against the Sacramento Kings to end their 3-game losing streak, not only did the Miami Heat lose in South Beach against the Philadelphia 76ers?
Oh, I know.
Furthering the Knicks.
I know where you're going with this.
But there's one other thing we have to be excited about, and it's that our partner in crime, Mr. Jeremy Cohen, it is his birthday today. And guess what we are doing? We are dancing on the post game, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday, Jeremy, at The Coincidence. Go at him on Twitter. Wherever you are right now, go at that man. Happy birthday, Jeremy. I'm glad the Knicks got a W for you on your birthday.
That's phenomenal. That was well done.